All right, and welcome everyone to the Ginette Biro Podcast. I'm Ginette Biro, and thank you all so much for joining me as we dive into the April energy update. It's a good one. I got to tell you, this is a good one, and I'm really happy to see it because the main word, if I was to give it one word, simply one word, would be magic. How much better does it get than that? Magic. Now, let's dive in, you guys. I am thrilled. So April is a month of high frequency energy coming in. So we have been receiving a lot of high frequency energy, but we've also been moving through a lot of high frequency energy. And we've been having to move through releasing stuff that no longer fits our path forward, fits our frequency, so that we can further or better embrace this new high frequency energy coming in, right? So if you think of it this way, low frequencies pull your frequency down. So low frequencies meaning past traumas, past shames, past obligations that no longer fit your path, things like that, have a lower frequency. So they lower your frequency, meaning it is harder for you to hold that higher frequency and embrace higher frequency. You see where I'm going with this? So what we have now is, because of all the stuff that you guys have been working really hard to clear and shift and release, or keep a boundary from, maybe you already released a lot of it and now it's just maintaining boundaries. Now we are having this high energy frequency of consciousness, more specifically coming from the sun, from solar consciousness. And if you aren't quite sure what I'm talking about, I've talked about solar consciousness before in many podcasts ago. But the quick version is, the light from the sun is more than just heat and more than just light. It has consciousness. It has light code, consciousness, information, intellectual consciousness in it. And so the higher we vibrate as a person, the more we can actually receive that. It's quite fantastic. So there's a lot more of that coming in from solar flares. Anytime there's that burst of energy that comes from the sun, is a burst of increased frequency energy coming from light, basically. So I think that's really quite beautiful. And a lot of this is amplifying and awakening dormant light codes that we have within us as well. So many of you that are here on a spiritual path, opening up, and I don't even need to say spiritual, on a path of expanding consciousness, many of you are experiencing these moments of awakening or higher understanding or flashes of insight that explain some whole thing or something like that. Those are all times that light code for you gets switched on. So dormant light codes that your soul came in with, in the hopes that you would ascend and open enough to turn them on. You guys are having these experiences of them turning on, right? And that's when you start to really see the world differently from maybe how you did a year ago, right? Where you perceive something more, you can detach more. You're not so caught up in what many call the rat race, or others call the matrix of this world, or the limitation of 3D, whatever that may be. You're becoming more multifaceted in your understanding of your being. And each time you do that, you increase the ability to bring light and energy to dormant light codes. So all of that to say, April is bringing a lot of that energy forward. So the more that you are aware, first of all, that that's happening, the more you can embrace those moments that it does, instead of being like, oh, did I make that up? Was that just a weird coincidence or something? If something triggers and your whole body lights up from it, pay attention to that. That is this amazing gift from the universe of consciousness, and it is here for you. So this is a really, really beautiful thing. So I'm excited about that. Now, the other thing is, we are also starting in April this new cycle of movement. So we had a lot of movement in March. A lot of that movement had to push some things out of the way, but now we're in this new cycle of movement connecting to the magic, right? So this is a lot of higher synchronicities, higher alignments, even more so than we saw in March. I know some people had a hard time experiencing that in March. Others experienced a lot of that, a lot of divine alignments. So what April's doing is it's bringing more of that. And for many of you that had to use March to clear up stuff, you're going to see more of that abundance coming to you in April. So this is a really good thing. I also want to say too, April is a number 4, and they're reminding me of the value of the number 4 is a really stable number. Just picture 4 legs on a table is more stable than a 3-legged table, right? So when we have a number 4, we have a great stability to anchor in the positive energies coming forward. Now, the next thing we have is, and again, this is where I'm getting more excited, divine interventions. Divine interventions are going to be this beautiful theme in April too. And so this can look like a lot of different things, but it's this potential where destiny can unfold. And I'm going to talk about some of the blocks to that so that we can be really aware. But first of all, let's really imagine and embrace this idea where divine intervention can lead to miracles. Miracles often occur when whether we are consciously or unconsciously aligned with our greatest path is when we see more miracles. Now, that's not always the path that is the most beautiful, but it's when we are most aligned. So sometimes we have an alignment where we are in a really tough spot, but it allows for the most beautiful miracle that is then life-changing, right? So sometimes the path shifts around a little bit, but it is aligned, which connects us to that miracle. Other times, miracles come in the form of several synchronicities coming together that are just, you feel like you're being showered with abundance. These are ways that destiny and miracles can show themselves, and it has to do with alignment. The more aligned you are, the more destiny has the opportunity to come into play to shower you with the things your soul wanted to embrace as a result of your lessons. That's the key piece. So we're going to see more fated events pushing us closer to our purpose, synchronicities, like I said. And even, yes, my guides are laughing. They're like, remember to say too that oftentimes these divine alignments come together in ways we could have never even imagined. So here's the interesting thing, and I have conversations with them about this often, is think about how when we talk about manifestation, be specific about what you want, all of that kind of stuff, yet be open to how the universe can bring it into your world. Because again, remember, they're not working within only the limitation of 3D. Our minds are thinking within the limitation of 3D. So we may have option A, B, and C as to how we think something could align for us. But the universe is working from an untapped, unlimited potential that then can move down into 3D and manifest itself. So it will most often appear on your path in a way that you could never have imagined. And that's the beautiful thing about retrospect, is that's where we often gain the most clarity of how these alignments possibly happened, is in retrospect. And so there's a gift in that. It's kind of like having the opportunity to sit and embrace the moment and savor the moment when it has happened. And then we look back as to the alignments that we didn't realize were happening to bring it together. There's a beauty in that. And there's a beauty in admiring how the universe helped to weave that together in connection with our conscious choices along the way, right? So there's these moments of weavings of fate and destiny that are really going to be at the surface, at the forefront this month. And so this is something we can celebrate. So I encourage you guys, when you have these moments of alignment, celebrate it. Talk to the universe and say thank you. Connect with your soul, your higher self, and say thank you. Connect with your entire being and the way in which you are connected to all things beyond this planet even, and say thank you. Because when you can ripple out your energy that big in gratitude for those alignments, it simply draws more alignments to you, right? It's this beautiful breathing in and out of energy of alignments. So definitely do that. Now, another specific date I want to talk about too is there is a solar eclipse on April 30th. And this solar eclipse in Taurus is also speaking to fated events and pushing us closer to our purpose, meaning destiny, right? So we have such an amplification of destiny, fated events, synchronicities, magic, you guys. This is, again, I'm repeating myself, but with reason. This is a time to be really, as much as you can be in your heart space, in receiving. Because one of the things that we really tend to do is we're really good at giving, and we enjoy the giving part, but many people have a hard time truly receiving. Oftentimes we'll receive something and be like, oh, okay, thank you, right? We're really happy and we got it, but we don't take a moment to feel the entirety of what it is to receive that, whether it be a gift from somebody, maybe something they made, maybe something they wish to give you, either a service, an opportunity. Maybe you're being awarded recognition for your work, for something you did in your community, maybe simply in your family. Maybe you're being acknowledged for how you have changed some serious ancestral patterns. Whatever it may be, you can absolutely revel in the receiving of the acknowledgement or the gift. It doesn't make you self-centered or egotistical. It actually makes you present in the moment and balancing out the energies of give and receive, of light and dark, right? We have to also balance that. We can receive it in a beautiful, humble way, but we can receive it in a way that it fills our soul for what we have accomplished or been gifted. And that's a beautiful thing. Again, it's that breathing in and out of energy. And that's what the universe is talking about with this month of magic. Now, one thing I want to talk about specifically to this destiny, because there'll be some people who will be like, well, nothing is happening for me. So here's the key. As you evolve, your destiny unfolds. Yeah. As you evolve, your destiny unfolds. Key word being evolve. We have to continue to evolve. I am continuing to evolve. Yes, I'm sharing these messages with you guys, but I am still continuing to evolve every day through different journeys, through different things that are triggered for me, things that I need to recognize, things I need to learn to receive, things I need to learn to push myself, times I need to learn to rest. All of the things we need to continue to evolve, because anytime you find you're getting stuck in a loop, and a lot of people talk about like, no matter what I do, I keep looping the same experience or the same sort of thing, or all relationships are bad for me, or things like that. Wherever you find you are stuck in a loop, there is more evolution needed at that level before you can step up to the next level. Now, that doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean it's a simple fix of, oh, okay, perfect, I'll just go do that. What it means is you need to go back in and look at it and see, where is there something that needs to be healed? Something maybe closed. Maybe there's boundaries needed somewhere. Maybe there's recognition needed somewhere of something, right? Maybe there's a conversation. Maybe there's basically just tending, the spirit saying, tend to the fields. Tend the fields is what they're saying. So wherever you find you're stuck in a loop, that's where your evolution is being caught up. And for you to move into the energy of destiny and miracles, you need to evolve past that situation. So with them really explaining that and bringing that to the forefront, you then have the tools of how to move through this, right? And we can still have miracles while we are evolving. But if we stop evolving in one spot, is when we're not going to be moving anywhere. We have to be in the process of evolving in that layer of frequency to see those other alignments start to fall into place. So that's a beautiful thing. And I think one thing to remember too with that is we never stop evolving, like I was saying. So it's not about evolving and reaching a point and then being like, there, I evolved, period. It's continual, but it's continual in a way of growth, kind of like how we never stop learning, right? It's not like we go to grade 5 and we stop learning. We keep going and we go to grade 12, but then we keep going, whether we go college, university, some sort of institute, whether it be our own learning, we continue to grow and learn. We never stop learning. So the same thing happens with evolution. We never stop evolving, but as we continue to learn or evolve, we get wiser, we have a higher frequency, we can bring in more light, and we can make more space for destiny and miracles to show themselves. And that is where our gift is. So I hope that helped inspire you guys for this month of April. Truly, this is set to be a beautiful month. Now, Spirit also wants me to mention really quickly here is pay attention to numbers. Number signs are going to be a big part of this month, as well as if you guys caught some of my Making Sense of Life videos, I recently did one on dreams. They're also coming through a lot more in dream communication too. And the message for that is listen to or look for the vividness in the dream for the communication. So dreams, number signs will help guide you, and then magic, miracles, and destiny points through synchronicity. This is what we can focus on. We will see other things coming up this month of, different revelations of different geopolitical stuff, climate things. We're going to see all of that, but Spirit's focus here was on the heart space, the journey, the magic. Fill your cup. See how your destiny can unfold based on your perspective, your reality, your focus. It doesn't mean you turn a blind eye to everything happening out there at all. It just means you see things from a higher perspective and hold your frequency high. Like I said in the beginning, let those light codes that are coming in, that high frequency energy, fill your cup, fill your consciousness, so that you can hold a higher perspective that is not caught up in the density, the matrixy, rat race, shoulds type mentality of life. And then we can be more in the heart space, which is really where the magic happens. So I'll leave that with you guys. Happy April, everyone. All the magic and beauty to you. I wish you guys all the best. If you are interested in expanding your own consciousness, check out avalonspirit.com, as well as every Friday, check out Spirit Coffee Talk with Elise Catherine and Lisa Richmond and I, where we chat about the energies, the things going on. We're starting to do some more interviews of other people as well. So lots to see there on the Avalon Spirit Avalon Spirit YouTube page. But for everything else, if you haven't yet, please do subscribe and share. Thank you for listening to my show. I sure appreciate you guys big time. And I will see you next week. Happy April.